Hello, beach friends. Today we will be exploring Lover's Key, and it's kind of exciting for me. I have not been here since Hurricane Ian, so this would be the first time that I'm here back on this island since the hurricane came through, and there will be a lot of, oh, that used to be there, and oh, things used to be different. So just on this first trip, for here example, there used to be a big old gazebo there, and the entire building is gone. So a lot of things have kind of changed for me, and I'll be pointing out a couple things here and there as we explore the island. But not to worry, even though some things are different, a part of the island that used to be almost inaccessible is now really quite beautiful. So we will be getting down to the south end of the island, and it's a good thing that it's kind of pretty because they've blocked off like a big portion of the park. They're not quite done cleaning up yet. So we are going to be kind of forced to explore the south end of the island, and that is fine. Trust me, we're gonna have a fine time today, but they're not done cleaning up. I really did want to get up that way. They're not ready for me, and that's all right. We'll just concentrate on the part of the beach that is safe and open. I want to point out that they have a different parking system. There used to be a little shack here. A guard would take your money. That is no more. You will drive to the main parking lot and pay with the envelopes, kind of like that honor system that some of the other state parks have. Now, as a quick peek of what's going on here, this to me does look a little bit more like summer. We're going to check that high rack line, and we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be in the water, we're going to be up on the beach, and I'm going to be looking in mud. I'm going to be looking all over the place. So we're going to find shells, we're going to say hi to a couple of critters, and I do promise we will have a lovely time here at Lover's Key. So if you're ready to see what's out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, this looks like summer to me. A smattering of this, that, and the other thing. All right, we do have legitimate full pieces here. We have a kitten's paw, we have a spiny jewel box, and a broad-ribbed cardita. So these are a couple of the more common shells. There's still shells here. And look at this. Now, this is a crossbarred Venus clam. Very, very, very common. But what I'm interested in is that drill hole. I think it was from a moon snail because it's countersunk. It's bigger on this side than the other side. So since it's summer, I'm going to slow down. A couple things are going to interest me. I'm going to be able to slow down and talk about other things. With the prickly cockle, we find one just about every week. I do love those Florida prickly cockles. And someone had asked me, can you tell the age of a shell by the lines on it? And apparently, yes, you can. This is like where they're all very close together. Maybe that was when they didn't have a lot of food and then they kind of spread out and they get themselves a lot of food. Now, I can't tell you exactly what this. I'm going to put a link in the description box below if you want to read a little bit more into it. But there is a little something to it, like the shells and the trees. Kind of interesting. Oh, those clouds are pretty too. So we're just meandering down the beach. Another kind of spiky, spiny jewel box. You wouldn't want to pass up that cute little shell. And then this shell kind of made me think this is another spiny jewel box, but you see the way it's kind of got lines on it? Is that each line a year? Maybe? I don't know. A little quahog. Now this shell just naturally has those kind of lines on it, so you can't always go by like how many lines there are is how old it is. That's a quahog. It's one of those fun little shells. This is fun. I think the critter's sleeping. And this made me think too, because they don't have eyelids. So is it sleeping? He's just sleeping and then I disturb it. What are you doing? Well, hi cutie. You're up here. You gonna do anything? Gonna come out? I think because it was a little tired. So sometimes I just wait. Sometimes they're quite feisty, and other times they're a little sleepy. So I'm just going to put you a little closer to the water, my friend, and then we'll continue our beach walk. There you go. Pretty shell. Another kitten paw. Lovely. Too bad it wasn't a lion's paw. Very, very different. Very different, the kitten's paw and lion's paw. Lion's paw is much more desirable kind of a shell. That is a broad-ribbed cardita. And I thought to myself, broad-ribbed cardita, this is your time to shine. Because there's, again, in the summer, there's not as many shells. They're a little bit harder to find. So I'm going to go in the water. My favorite place to be, if I can find the shells, see if I can find something to chase down. Tide's not great for shelling. It's not. Just going to be one of those days. So we're just going to have to make do with what we have. Oh, broad-ribbed cardita. You're also quite pretty. I happen to like those shells anyway. They're kind of common. Oh, look at that one. Yeah. I think that's kind of pretty too. And might as well grab this beach ball while I'm at it. You never know. Might find a couple of small shells to put in there. That is a giant Atlantic cockle with its little broad-ribbed cardita. So going toward the south end of the island. It's kind of we don't have much of a choice. And along the way, I'm going to pick up as much garbage. All the garbage I see, I will be picking that up along the way. A piece of coral. Thin-fingered coral. So another fun thing that we can collect here, in addition to the seashells. And, now I used to say that whole purple on the inside thing, but that's different. Like that really, really purple interior, I'm keeping it. Even if the shell's a little bit on the beat up side. I've been kind of converted, that whole purple on the inside thing. If it's very purpley, probably going to keep it. Lovely garbage. And I could just kind of tuck other garbage inside that container. Awesome. A little lightning whelk. Yep, that is a summer lightning whelk. Lucky to have you, friend. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Oh. Now you're a fighting conch and you're quite pretty, aren't you? Now that's kind of like that black rich color on the interior. Another lovely Florida fighting conch. Oh, did I hear something? I do see some rain over there. So that's rain, that area. That's fine over there. Let me check behind me, check my 6. All good. All right. So we'll just keep an eye on that one area. Florida is flat, flat, flat. If you're at the beach, you can see pretty far. A lettered olive. And it's not an albino lettered olive. Bummer. I'm still looking for that. I'll get it one of these days. I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting when I finally do find that. So this is another broad-ribbed cardita. I liked this one because it had a little bit of yellow in it. It's a little broken. But yellow is hard to come by on the shells down here. I don't see a lot of yellow unless it's that yellow prickly cockle. Well, hi there, mossy arc. Yep, that's a fine example of a mossy arc. They just look half-made to me. They look funny. And this is a seraph. This is a dark seraph. Let's get that separated from all the other little things. Isn't that pretty? So that's another thing I kind of like about the summer. Slow down and appreciate how beautiful that opening is, that aperture. And you see that little siphonal canal there? Or maybe it's more of a siphonal notch. But a really beautiful dark seraph. Okay, I'm going to be careful. Got some beach. Yeah, it's garbage. That's not glass. Or well, it is beach glass, or sea glass. That will end up in the recycling. And an auger. Oh, you're so pretty, you peach auger, you. And I'm checking really good because the critters, little bitty hermit crabs, like to hide in those. So I'm particularly careful when shelling in the water. Another nice light lettered olive. Got some shine. Yeah, I'm kind of picky with the olives. I only really keep the ones that are pointy and shiny. Oh, I'm gonna make extra effort to get this gross garbage. So there was a little bit of garbage in the water. That's okay. Now this I really wanted to get because that is so dangerous for sea turtles. They see it floating in the water. They think it's a jellyfish because they eat a lot of jellyfish, and then it gets stuck in them. So, yeah, definitely plastic. If you can, get that out of the water. Help our sea turtle friends. So I've made it all just like that, all the way to the south end of the island. So that's the bridge from the Lover's Key, which is technically Fort Myers Beach, down to Big Hickory and then Little Hickory. Those are some other islands. Little sandbar out there. I don't recall that sandbar, so maybe that's new. Thanks, Ian. Yeah. So what else do we have down here? Rose petal talons, not surprising. Like I said, this is Fort Myers Beach. Not surprising at all. Rose petal talon. And then a little highway here, little fish highway. The fish are staying away from the birds on the beach and then away from the fish in the water. So they're just kind of doing their thing. It's lovely to see everything that's going on. However, speaking of lovely, this is pretty. So I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy some beach time. Very different down here, but very pretty. A little sunray Venus clam. It looks like somebody snacked on. Somebody has drilled a hole. Yep, sunray Venus clam with a little hole in it. Pretty little thing. What do we got? Scallop? Yeah, a calico scallop. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, like tigery looking pattern on the edges. Lovely. All right, so we're all the way at the south end of Lover's Key, and then over there, that's Dog Beach. Fun, people bring their dogs, let them splash about, and we don't have to worry about the birds, and so the dogs have their spot to kind of hang out and do their beach thing, not disturbing any birds. And so this used to really not be accessible over here. There was way too many trees and mangroves, and it looks like Ian took care of that for us. Oh, a crab. It was purplish, kind of. Never saw one like you. And for whatever reason, it kind of reminded me of a stone crab. I looked it up, and I do think perhaps that this is a Cuban stone crab. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of neat. All right, so the dogs are playing. The crabs are doing those things. Probably a couple birds here. What else is here? Pretty, right? So I found this kind of like muddy-ish air. Well, it looks like crown conch territory to me. There's one right there. That is a live critter. And the way I see it is where there's live critters, a critter could have expired. So there could be a shell or two here. So that lump is a shell. It's a fighting conch. Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the crowned conchs over here. So we're gonna push around some furry stuff. Yes! I was bummed I didn't show you that. It literally just looked like a lump. And it turned out to be a crowned conch. All right, kind of cool. Whoop, all right. Still gonna keep it. As much as you try to get away from me, you're going in my shell bag. What about that? Nope. That's fighting conch. Oh, that looks promising. Yeah, darn it. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. So it was alive. I'm very sorry. It's sticking out. It's a little. Yeah, it's operculum. There's his body. So, yeah, let me just tuck you right back there. Sorry, friend. All right, that's just something furry. What else? What about that? Is that anything? Yeah, it's a fighting conch. Yep. So I do this for a little while, just kind of push around slimy, furry things, hoping that something will end up being, well, this I can tell is a nutmeg. Excellent. I'll go ahead and hold on to that. That's a pretty good find. And it did clean up quite nicely, that little nutmeg. And check this out. That's a true tulip. Not only do I never find them, to find one now in the summer, woohoo! So it's a little slimy, but that is a true tulip. That's a date with some bleach. Oh, there's another critter doing its thing. And they move pretty quickly for a snail and all. Look at that. So that's its siphon kind of hanging out the front of the shell there. And that's what I look for if I think that the critter might be alive. I'm looking at the front of the shell, kind of looking to see if I see something sticking out. All right, anybody else? Okay, oh, nope, that's a critter. I can see the front, yep. See, it's a little siphon sticking out there, so I'm gonna leave that critter alone. What about, what's that? It's a shell. Okay, it's ooh. Now, that is what I'm talking about. It's got nice spikes on it. Deep, rich color on that. Oh, crown conch, you're awesome. Yes. Yep. I'm gonna put that in my shell back, and we're gonna clean that one up too. I definitely need to see what that's gonna look like. And critter, sorry, buddy. Oh, look at a critter. Look at that. So this is the teeniest, tiniest little horseshoe crab I've ever seen. It's like the size of a nickel. Look at that little critter. It's so cute. So yeah, it's just tiny and adorable. We got to see the exoskeleton from one last week. And oh dear, I'm not going to leave you upside down like that. That's what their tails are for. It kind of helps them flip over. And I just wasn't really happy the way that I was leaving it. So I had to make sure it was okay. So I did. I made sure it was in the water and it was safe and it was doing its thing before I left it alone. But it kind of did make me rethink. Maybe next time I won't go picking it up. I don't need to pick up every critter I see, do I? Well, I like to. Do like a good sand dollar too. And frankly, even with just a little bit of washing off, yeah, that sand dollar is going to be just fine. Shell or critter? Shell. Yay! All right. So yeah, sometimes hanging out in the mud pays off. And like I said, hang out to the end of the video. We're going to clean those up. And guess what else? Can you believe this? Yeah, it's broken, but an alphabet cone hanging out in the mud back here. Weird. And that was a little piece of urchin, that little purple thing with the white spots. Weird, right? I'm keeping it. I'm keeping that little bit of a broken alphabet cone. That is awesome. And that, yeah, it's just a little bit of furriness. Now that I could tell was a shell. Sorry. And then I'm like, all right, I already disturbed you. So it is very slimy. Lightning whelk. Good luck, friend. You do your lightning whelk thing. Well, that was kind of fun and exciting to go kind of hunting around the mud for a couple of minutes. All right, still some squishiness here. It looks like we have a boring turret snail. Kind of neat. Now, they kind of look like an auger. They're not. The bottoms look different. So it's a boring turret snail. Kind of cool. And another rose petal talon. Excellent. Little bit of a cleaning. Renders quite a lovely little pink shell. A not surprising rose petal talon. Now, I'm glad that normally when I go to the beach, I'm walking around looking at all this beautiful scenery. However, when I do go and I just want to hang out, I never go without my AnchorWorks umbrella anchor. AnchorWorks is a umbrella system that makes sure the umbrella stays where you put it. It comes with a little shovel, you make a little hole, you bury the anchor in there, and then it comes with this tray that's going to hold your drinks and your phone and all that good stuff. You assemble that along with the umbrella stand. The next thing you know, you have this system that's going to stay put. I hate the idea of those pointy, anchors that you push into the ground. If that comes loose, now you have something with a really pointy edge on it. No, I just can't. I like the idea knowing that my umbrella is going to stay exactly where I put it. I just like knowing it's a safe way to enjoy the beach. Now, you can order your own system by pointing your phone right at that QR code. I will put a link in the description box below. And if you do decide to go over there and purchase one of these systems, make sure you use code SWF28 for 28% off. So thank you, AnchorWorks, for making the beach a safe place to enjoy. I'm enjoying myself. This is absolutely beautiful. Oh, okay, this is not beautiful. Let's get rid of that. Garbage on the beach. This was weird. I don't know if it was like a degreaser or something, but I made sure, yeah, that was definitely coming off the beach. So I made it all the way down to the south end. Again, very different than I expected. Happy to be here, though. I was happy to, see things are coming along. Here's one of the few yellow things I can find on the beach. This is a yellow prickly cockle. So that is a yellow prickly cockle. And all right, a little bit of worm snail. We have ourselves a gaudy nautica. So the gaudy nautica is a moon snail. It is also called the colorful moon snail. So that shell has two names, colorful moon snail and gaudy nautica. Can use them interchangeably. Look at what we got here. We have a propagule. So that is hopefully, it's a little beat up. I don't know if it's going to be, if it'll survive, but that is the seed for a red mangrove. And that's going to float around, and maybe it would hit a sandbar, or it would hit land that was kind of shallow, plant its roots, and grow into a legitimate red mangrove tree. So we can hope so. Good luck, little propagule. Go ahead and build an island somewhere. I'm just going to wander around looking for shells like this lettered olive. Gorgeous. Those ones earlier were a little on the light side. I do like a good dark lettered olive. I was wondering, what the heck is that? That's just a very, very beat up banded tulip. I knew that's what you were thinking. Yeah. Just been sitting here for a while. It's so different. Ooh. A calico scallop with a very pretty pattern. Very delicate light pink with its little cranberry accents. Lovely. A cone, yep. A Florida cone. Ooh, oh, that's like almost a perfect Florida cone. Those are the hard knock life shells of the shell world. But this one is looking pretty good. Nice looking Florida cone. Oh, beautiful. Very dark lettered olive. Yep, lots of M's and W's and N's. Lovely. And a bay scallop. So they look just like the calico scallops. Their colorations are a little different. Well, to me, they look just like the calico scallop, the shape. There's a banded tulip. You're been hugged by the beach a few times. A little bit of pitting going on, a couple of breaks. You're still awesome, but I'm going to leave you for somebody else. Somebody else would like to add you to their collection, I'm sure. Are you kidding me? What? Yeah. Okay. What the what? Alphabet cone? Yeah. Like, what? Okay. Very surprising. Pretty good looking shell too, if I had to say. It's got a little bit of a chip on the aperture, but nice looking shell. Woohoo! Oh, and a hinged sunray Venus clam. Yeah, that hinge, it's very flexible right now. Once they dry out, they become brittle, and typically, they don't really stay together. It's hard. It's hard to keep those hinges intact You kind of got to choose if you want to keep it closed and then let the hinge dry, or kind of keep it open and let the hinge dry. Because once that hinge dries, that's it. Oh, look how pretty that Atlantic cockle is. Yeah, it's not albino. That's fine. They can't all be awesome albinos, right? Beautiful beach bowl. A giant Atlantic cockle. Am I chasing? Well, I am. Another little Florida cone. And a broad-ribbed cardita. It was your day. I know you're a little pitted. Still pretty, though. Like ombre colored. A Florida fighting conch. Empty. Excellent. Is this the one? Yeah, I'm just kind of marveling at that beautiful color on the inside. And then, all right, you're not quite knobless. You decided you were going to be knobbed, and then you changed your mind. Yeah, I love that. So different. A sort of knobless Florida fighting cock. I'm just appreciating the color of the interior of this other giant Atlantic cockle. Because sometimes it's that rich cranberry, and then other times it's like kind of like that pink. It's so pretty. Oh, fighting cock. You had me at the zigzags along those little spikes there. Yep. Yep. You're gorgeous. You're coming home with me. Fighting conch. So there's no shortage of wind and waves. The weather's okay. Yeah, for the most part, it's cooperating. Another Florida fighting conch. Yeah, you really are kind of pretty. Yep. You're coming home with me. Oh dear. All right, more garbage. Get that off the beach. So just like that, yeah, I really did want to get up there. There used to be these trees. I was speaking with one of the rangers, and the trees are gone. There was just this very iconic part of the park. These are all Australian pines. They are invasive trees, so they're not supposed to be here. Typically, you know, the seawater will kill them. They're not supposed to be here. But they were really pretty and just made this kind of display that everyone would, you know, put their shells on. I would do the same. So it just was nice to come down. But these are gone. They are no more. They are only in my memories and in some of these older videos. But that's okay. We're back. We're going to make new memories. So this is new. Some new beach flowers to brighten up Lover's Key. And I'll keep coming back. Lover's Key really is pretty. And I will continue to come back. And eventually we will get to explore the north end of the island. Can you imagine? I already had so much fun today. And there was a whole part of the beach we weren't even allowed to go explore. Now, a lot of things have changed. They do have a tram, but it's different. The tram actually used to come over this bridge, but it doesn't anymore. It's going to stop on the other end of the bridge. So you still can get a pretty good ride. I hoofed it myself, but the tram will drop you off at the end of this, and it's going to get you about 800 feet from the beach. So the way I guess I was thinking about it is I do see other people trying to go to the beach, and the parking can add up. So here it's only $8 a car, and you can enjoy the whole day. Bring your cooler, bring your Anchor Works anchor to make sure that you stay under the sun and you're protected. And lastly, I was also very excited to see this too for my walking impaired beach friends. They do have a beach wheelchair that Lover's Key used to offer them. They still do. So if you need that beach wheelchair, talk to the tram driver. As soon as you get here, ask them about that, and they can help you get on the beach. Otherwise, you're just hoofing it. If I had to get, it's, I don't know, 10, 15-minute walk. It's a bit of a walk. And then I wanted to show you, we don't have gravel and dirt and stuff like that here. We have shells. So we literally just use shells like you would in parking lots and whatnot. And then I wanted to let you know the piles of garbage at the end of Lover's Key is getting much smaller. And here's my pile of garbage. Here's my contribution to removing garbage. So I took 8.15 ounces of garbage from the beach. And in total, I've managed to remove a little over 36 pounds of garbage off the beach. I'm just tracking it till I get to 100. 100 pounds, I'll get there one of these days. So I did get a couple of those giant Atlantic cockles, including some of those knicker nuts, that one-hinged sunray Venus clam, some of those spiny jewel boxes, the yellow prickly cockle, the coral, the rose petal talon, some of those worm snails, the augurs, as well as the cerith, some scallops, a bunch of those olives, the broadwood carbitas. Today was your day. And then the Florida fighting conchs, including the one with all the purple on it, a couple of lightning whelks, the one sand dollar. Can you believe I got alphabet cone, a gaudy nautica, and those crown conchs, that one, oh, so pretty. So let's clean that up. So first, it goes in the bleach. So this has already been bleached and dried. And you will notice there's a little bit of white on there. So the next thing I do is I put it in acid. So I've dipped that in acid and it still has a little bit of shine to it. I'm kind of surprised. So I may work a little bit more on that shell, but I just think that it came out gorgeous. And in case you've missed it, I do offer a safe acid in my store on my YouTube channel. So you can go over there and buy yourself some safe acid as well. Well, that was fun. Today, on this particular day, I was actually planning on going up to Honeymoon Island, but the weather did not cooperate. So instead, I went to Lover's Key. And frankly, I think it worked out pretty okay. I really do like that crown conch. And patrons, as always, thank you so, so very much for helping me pay the entrance fee and other little things like that. Next week, we're heading across the state, and I find a bucket list shell. And I cannot wait to tell you about it. So it's going to be a big adventure, lots of traveling, for me anyway. So you have yourself a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.